development and poverty reduction. The estimated time to speak to a ministry worker is 16 minutes. To help us serve you faster, if you are receiving ministry services and have an 8-digit person ID number and 3-digit personal identification number, known as a PIN, or a social insurance, you have indicated you are receiving ministry services and do not have a person ID and PIN or a social insurance number, or have other inquiries. Please listen carefully to the following two. You have reached the General Inquiry Information menu. Please, you can find out all the information to... Please hold while we transfer your call. Advise that calls may be monitored for quality and training purposes. We would appreciate your feedback on your experience in accessing our services today by completing a 2-question survey. The survey response will not be connected to your file or eligibility in any way and is completely anonymous. If you select yes, please remember to stay on the line after your call ends to activate the survey. Thank you. We appreciate your time and feedback. If you would like to participate, please press 1 for yes or 2 for... The current estimated wait time is 11 minutes. Your call is important to us. If you prefer to have a callback, press 1 now. Otherwise, please remain on the line. We are about to register a callback for you at 250-639-9000. If this is okay, press 1. Otherwise, 2. Your message has been recorded. Thank you for calling.
Well, I guess I wait for social assistance to call me back because they withheld my check because I won't attend Work BC, even though I've been looking for work. And this forced attendance to Work BC is against taxpayers' rights. They've already taken our taxes for social assistance. They cannot force our compliance to programs in order to receive social assistance, whether they are looking for work or not. They've already taken taxes because the requirement to get social assistance is 2 years' work that the government taxes. So now I wait for a call back, and I'll further discuss over the phone with hopefully a worker why this is wrong. Hello?
Hi there. Did you request for a call back from ministry?
Yes. My name is Aaron Greycloud II.
Can you give me your social insurance number, please?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And what's your date of birth?
May 30th, 1984.
Perfect. Are you reapplying for income assistance or?
No, I'm calling in regards to my social assistance being withheld.
Okay, let me just take a look. Okay, let's see. Is it for which month?
As far as I was understanding, it would be for,
For this month's check and on.
yes, coming up. Yes, the 25th.
Let's see. Okay. So it says that you will need to connect with Ministry Employment Planning worker Laura at 778 to discuss how non-compliance with your signed employment plan affects your eligibility for income assistance. Do you want to address this urgent matter? It says do not wait to address this matter. Okay, should I transfer you to her and you can...
I suppose if that's who has to deal with it, yes.
Okay. Do you want a number or should I let me just see if this person is available, then I'll ask their call right through here. Okay, let's see. I guess I'm just going to give you her phone number. It's a direct line. You're not going to have to wait in line.
Okay.
And also, if she has a voicemail set up, just leave a message for her. Be like, this is my name, and I'm just calling to clear the signal on my file after speaking with you.
Okay, thank you.
Leave your phone number for her to...
Okay, hold on 1 second here.
So the phone number is...
Okay.
Have a pen handy, let me know.
Yeah, I got it. Go ahead.
Okay, so it's 778 572 3110, and her name is Laura.
Okay.
Try giving her a call in like 10 to 15 minutes. Maybe she'll be back by then.
Okay, thank you.
106. You try calling her on 120 or something, right?
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. As we can see, that was less than helpful. I'm getting the runaround with this phone bingo bullshit. I'll be back after I try to get hold of Laura, apparently.
Please dial a 1 when dialing this number.
Okay, let's try that again.
Hi, you've reached Laura, employment planning worker with the Ministry of Social Development. I'm unable to answer your call right now, but if you leave me some contact information that includes your phone number and a social insurance number, I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you. Have a good day. After the tone, please record your message. When you finish recording, hang up or press the pound key for more options.
Hello, my name is Aaron Joseph Greycloud II. I am calling in regards to my social assistance being withheld against my rights as a tax-paying citizen of this country. I am also recording this call for legal purposes, and to explain why participation in Work BC should not be mandatory, even though I shouldn't have to explain. My phone number is 250-639-9000. Further discuss why withholding my social assistance to force my attendance to Work BC is an infringement and violation of the rights of every tax-paying citizen in Canada, including myself. Thank you, and have a good day. And now more waiting. Hello?
Hello, good afternoon. with Aaron, please?
Speaking.
Hi, Aaron. My name's Laura. I'm returning your call.
Yes. I was calling about the hold on my check.
Right. If you noticed, I moved it forward 1 month because they're requesting due to the outbreak.
Yeah, and that was part of what I was actually going to talk to you about, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we've moved that forward to May, but I did try to reach you, discuss your participation with Work BC prior to placing the hold on your check.
Yes.
So I did hear what you said, and I did review what your case manager had sent to me prior to contacting you. So do you want to tell me what your hesitation is to participate in this program?
Yes. So just give me a moment, because I have prepared, okay? Just
Sure.
you know.
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay. Excuse me. I would like to discuss why withholding my social assistance to force my attendance to Work BC is an infringement and violation to the rights of every tax-paying citizen of Canada, including myself. Forcing attendance to any program in order to receive social assistance is unethical, as it denies every tax-paying citizen the right and freedoms, as well as access to social programs our taxes have already paid into, making Work BC no different than probation for poor people. It discriminates and exploits against people who are already in financial hardship, as well as other forms of distress like physical and mental health, and who need financial help from their government because they temporarily have no other means to provide for themselves, which is why the taxes were paid in the first place. As a 35-year-old Aboriginal male who has worked since he was 16, I have been paying taxes going on 20 years now. I know for a fact the government takes portions of my income as taxes for things like social assistance, universal Canadian health benefits, employment insurance, and CPP. The requirement for any tax-paying citizen to attend Work BC to attain financial help from the government is no short of discrimination against the poor and extortion to obtain compliance and obedience of the public, as no citizen is even allowed to collect social assistance without working for a 2-year minimum, work that is taxed by the government. And this infringement is an example of why Work BC is modern-day slavery, as the attendance to Work BC is for the purpose of forcing people back into the workforce whether they are ready to or not, and regardless of their current living situations. It is every taxpayer's right to use social programs without discrimination and extortion of participations in programs like Work BC in order to obtain social programs like social assistance, as they have already earned the right through taxation. I myself am only entitled to collect $749 per month as a single male, and my rent is $500 shared with my mom and only capable with the help of arbitrators. And if I had to move, would not be able to afford shared rent or a loan on the maximum living allowance currently given to me on social assistance, especially with the high cost of rent in British Columbia being around $1,500 or more for a 2-bedroom apartment. I already have to stretch my income to feed and care for 4 people with allowance made for 1 single male, and according to family court, can only keep guardianship if I have a suitable home for my children, making this mandatory requirement to attend Work BC an attack on single-parent families throughout BC. I already have to try twice as hard to raise the same kids my ex-wife is raising. Work BC doesn't just step on citizens' right to say no to something that doesn't guarantee employment or benefit people unanimously, but in my case, for example, circumstances set against me already from the family court system, being a single dad with 3 kids in a joint custody arrangement. I have 49% shared guardianship with my ex-wife for all 3 of our children. which means by law she is considered the main guardian and I am not entitled to claim my children on my taxes, through employment insurance, or through welfare, even though I have them every single Tuesday, every second and fourth Thursday, first and third weekend of every month during the school year, as well as the time during summer breaks, summing up to about 50% shared custody or more if my kid's mother is sick or needs special help caring for the kids or has to focus on her daughter with her new husband. Caring for my children financially and physically can take up to 60% of my income and time, or more whether I am working, on employment insurance, or social assistance like I am currently in need of now. And being a single father takes up a lot of my time as well. So the requirement to comply and be at appointments to see probation workers like Angie Inkster to ensure I'm trying to find work and receive social assistance check is asking a lot, especially when I have proven beyond a doubt I am trying to find a job. Time is precious. Time is the most valuable commodity known to man. Anyone who is employed is potentially selling a portion of their life and time that is irreplaceable to work for a set wage and earn an income. A wage that most already believes undervalues the irreplaceable time they have to sell in order to maintain a suitable, comfortable living in our current society. There is no greater insult to injury than having a full day with my kids, job searching independently, or going to work when I am employed, and having to study to get licenses to obtain better employment, than the government trying to extort more of my precious time from me to obtain assistance my taxes and all tax-paying Canadians have already paid for. As I had explained upon talking to Angie through email, when she told me I had forgot and missed our last meeting and my check got held. Work BC is no different than probation for poor people and degrades the income challenged as if they were criminals. As in my case specifically, I had made it known to Work BC and social assistance I had an employment plan before applying for social assistance. As growing up on social assistance as a child, I know full well they don't give enough income to thrive in any capacity. It was not my choice to need social assistance now or at any time in my life. Circumstances left me no other choices throughout my life. Since 2017, I have gotten my security license to work in the security field and have gotten employment in stationary security jobs that have not needed me to drive. But as of lately, and after being fired improperly from my last job for reasons that are being investigated and out of my control, and because companies require guards to drive company vehicles on their property and keep vehicles safe, I need a driver's license. This requires another license to drive that I could not obtain previously because of many factors such as finances incurred and access to obtain a vehicle, as well as the graduated licensing program and the criteria to pass. I am partially on the way to my employment goals thanks to the Heisla Driving School, which I previously couldn't afford and was only accepted as a student because LNG was trying to buy public approval by paying the tuition fees for applicants. When I had requested this assistance from Work BC, as well as other organizations like NEST, the Nishka Education School Trust, or Social Assistance and Employment Insurance previously, they all said there was nothing they could do to assist me with my employment plan, as they did not have funds, or I did not meet a certain criterion. Not only am I being forced to comply and attend Work BC when my taxes have already paid for social assistance, but this program is a waste of taxes itself, as it has not even assisted me in my current employment plan financially or otherwise. Now or the previous times I was on social assistance and forced to attend Work BC. Every single time I have attended the program in the past, the program has failed to attain employment for me, and instances where I have found employment were due to my interventions and not of Work BC. If the provincial and federal government are actually concerned about unemployment, maybe they should stop wasting taxpayers' time and money on programs that do not work, and more on programs that help people get licenses to obtain jobs, as I am no closer to achieving my pre-existing employment plan thanks to anything welfare or Work BC has done. But because of myself and third parties, I lack to see the purpose or usefulness of Work BC, as none of the jobs posted on their job board are any different than the ones offered to me by Indeed.com, Jobilico, Loblaw, Monster, or any of the other job sites I was already using before being on welfare and forced into the useless program called Work BC. As I mentioned before, I have no intention of staying on welfare long, just until I get my driver's license and back into the security field. Being forced to attend Work BC is not assisting with these goals, but rather hindering them by wasting my time and withholding finances to help me back into employment. Or with driving school, as I do require 30 independent hours of driving that I cannot complete because of lack of access to a vehicle or funds for gas to have someone let me practice with their vehicle. And Work BC, as well as other resources, have refused to help with that as well. The forced attendance also currently infringes on my rights under the Charter of Human Rights, Freedoms and Safety to protect myself from the pandemic threat of COVID-19, as coronavirus has currently been declared a national emergency and pandemic threat by Canada and the World Health Organization. Being forced to attend meetings at a public place puts my health and life at risk from the contraction of the current pandemic threat of COVID-19, as well as my friends and family members in current contact with me on a daily basis. I myself grew up with asthma and underdeveloped lungs, and this puts me at a specific risk of dying a lot higher than other adults. For the past 2 months, my children have come home with notices about this threat and how to keep themselves and others safe by washing hands, not touching your face, and keeping contact to public a minimum. This threat now increases with more cases of COVID-19 occurring in Vancouver and Kelowna area and southern parts of BC. It is my right to not attend any meetings at this time, as the pandemic threat even closed down Olympics and multiple concerts worldwide. The threat has now put Terrace BC on alert, as the Terrace Regional Hospital, which is just an hour from Kitimat, has now posted about the pandemic threat. Regardless of such pandemic threat, my taxes have already paid for the use of social assistance. If adjustments aren't made to cease mandatory requirement at Work BC, I will seek legal advice from a legal organization, lawyer, law consultant, or provider. To keep myself during this viral threat, I only have to make a few calls from the safety of my home. As I have multiple rights being violated and this mandatory requirement is the cause, getting legal assistance will not be a problem during a pandemic crisis, as I can get counsel over the phone. As my health is paramount to my employment and safety of my children and family members, the government does not hold the right to ask me to endanger myself or my family, especially within the Kitimat Work BC being next to 2 doctors' offices.
Terminating the call if you don't let me speak. Hello?
Yes, I had several points to make, and you should have been listening to them.
Are you done?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay.
And I hope you were listening.
At the top of the conversation, were you listening when I talked about the virus?
Yes.
Okay. So your point was moot. I'm not forcing you to do anything. You need to understand, to be eligible for income assistance, you made your points.
Yes, no, as I said, I've paid taxes to get social assistance, and the forced compliance is unnecessary.
Okay, so
I have already made my point because I was already looking for a job beforehand, and Work BC will not help me with that work plan.
Aaron, I just gave you 15 minutes to speak, and I listened, and I didn't interrupt. Now you could afford me 5.
Okay, but it really sounds like you didn't hear a damn thing I just said.
Yeah. So, when you signed up for income assistance, you signed your employment plan. Your employment plan clearly states that you need to abide by the direction of your case manager. You need to attend regularly and participate fully.
You know the Nazis forced this participation, right?
I'm sorry?
The Nazis, they forced this type of participation after I've already paid taxes.
Aaron?
No, I'm recording this. This is going to go to legal help because this is against my rights as a human being.
Okay. So it sounds like you have bigger issues than I can assist you with. And
I paid taxes. Every Canadian paid taxes. Any Canadian that's on social assistance, they paid taxes. They deserve social assistance without being forced to attend other programs.
okay. So I'm going to request my supervisor contact you, and you should expect a call within 48 hours. My suggestion is that you contact your MLA to discuss how policy and legislation work against you and your human rights. In the meantime, it's my responsibility to let you know that unless you have a mitigating circumstance, such as illness, that impedes your participation in the program, then your non-compliance will lead to denial of income assistance.
Yes, you're going to threaten me by taking away the taxes that I've already paid. I understand.
Listen, I'm not...
That's what it is. That's what you're enforcing. How do you sleep at night?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so,
Like I said, this is what the Nazis did just before they took over. They enforced laws like this.
like this one,
Just like this one.
that people have to be looking...
Yes, to join programs their taxes already paid for, yes.
Okay.
You're forcing people into poverty this way.
In reviewing your history, I see that you were on income assistance from 2011 to 2016, and there wasn't any income declared during that time. Were you working and paying taxes then?
No, that time was wasted by the courts and family court system as I was fighting for my children.
Okay. Well, for whatever reason, you know, you're saying it's an infringement and you shouldn't have to participate in work programs. Is that saying that there should be
No, I understand people should be employed, but forcing them into programs does not ensure that employment.
No, but it's a way to monitor that they are seeking employment. It's also a way for you to address...
To address what? I was already addressing that you won't assist me with my already current plan?
Well, you were fired from employment, right?
Yes, but as I entered the system, I told them I already have an employment plan, and instead of helping me financially attain that goal, they have hindered it. They have refused to assist. Yet I am forced to attend. For what purpose? You're not actually assisting my current goal.
How about this as a current goal? You get a job that you can handle right now, and you pay your own fines. You pay your own license. How about that for a...
I am doing that.
You are?
And as I need current assistance to get through that, my government is refusing. They're refusing.
Refusing to what?
To help me. Through Work BC. I've already asked them. I've spoke to Angie. She knows that I'm trying to get my license. She knows that I need assistance to get my license, but nothing Work BC has to offer can help me with that. Why is that? Where's the taxpayers' money going then, if it's not to actually help people get a job?
Yourself.
Because it's not. It's being wasted. People's tax-paying money going to Work BC, and they're not helping anyone get employment.
Aaron, I asked you a question. Instead of pointing your finger and saying, you're not helping me, why don't you help yourself and go get a job and pay?
I have.
You've gotten it.
And those basic jobs you're talking about don't pay the rent. You have to step it up and get a license and get some sort of other employment. And that's what I'm trying to do. And the more I do, the more you guys have some sort of resistance to getting me to that goal.
They pay you more than $760 that you're receiving from us. So if you think you're going to get anywhere, save any money while you're on income assistance, you're not. You know that. It's barely...
No, I understand that.
Right. So how are you going to get anywhere? Unless you take a job.
I'm going to, and that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to get to there, and you're not helping me. Work BC isn't financially helping me get my licenses or doing anything for the employment plan I already had. You've just continually, over the past 5 minutes, belittled my employment plan after saying I needed one.
I did? No, I said you should go about getting it yourself if you're not going to get any financial help from us.
That's what I've tried to do, and I've explained you that. I've had to ask from third parties. Third parties had to get involved. The government didn't help.
So,
not where they should have been helping.
Are you working?
I am currently looking for work, and I can't get there without these driver's licenses. All the jobs that actually pay so that I can feed 3 children.
Okay, so you're not on file as a single parent.
No, I can't do that because of your court system.
How many rooms in your apartment?
I have 2 rooms.
Okay, one for you and one for your mom?
No, one for my kids and one for my mom. I sleep in a living room.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying to you. Like, you're not responsible for providing primary shelter for those kids.
Yes, I am, by the court order.
There's 3 kids?
For 3 kids. If I want to have joint guardianship, I have to provide for them.
Okay. Well, you've dragged me into a conversation that I really have no business being in. It's not my business what kind of residence you have for your children or anything else. My business is employment planning. My business is ensuring that you...
Yeah, and I'm trying to do that. Okay? And you're this withholding my check while I'm trying to stand back up again isn't helping me any.
Aaron.
Because if I'm broke and homeless on the street, it's just going to make me farther from my goal.
Right. It seems to me like you've dug in your heels and you don't want to participate in that program because...
No, I want to participate in programs that actually help me.
So the program said no to giving you money to help you in the direction you want to go. The program is there to assist you in and assess you in determining your barriers to employment, to assist you and assess things like your resume, your interview skills, things like that. If you don't participate, you'll have no idea why you're not getting employment.
No, I've been getting employment on my own since I was 16. I know how to do that. All of that stuff is taught to kids in high school. The ones that listen. So they're not offering me anything I don't already have.
Well, I'm wondering why you're on income assistance if you have those skills to get...
Because I grew up on this system. This system sucks you back in. There's statistics to back that.
Okay. I'm here to ensure that you have the facts. You make your own decisions after that. So I'm presenting the facts to you.
They sound a lot like alternative facts to me.
You've signed an employment plan that outlines what our expectations are and what the consequences are. So you should have been aware when you signed that. You sound like the type of person that would read before you signed.
Not when you have mouths to feed. You don't really have a choice then.
Aaron, did you read your employment plan before you signed it?
Like I just said, you don't really give a shit what it says because you have mouths to feed. My other alternative would be to lose my kids, my apartment, and be homeless. So regardless of what it says, I had to sign. I was forced to sign by my circumstances.
Okay, so you knew what was on it.
Doesn't make it legal when I'm forced against me by my circumstances.
It's legal.
Remember, this is recorded, so you know what? I'm going to be getting help with this. This is illegal.
Okay, so I'm telling you that if you don't stay connected, and that right now can be virtual if you prefer, with your case manager, you will be denied assistance. So you need to reconnect with your case manager and participate fully. And by participating fully at this time, we allow telephone connection, email.
Yes, and I've gone through that, and they consider it not a full meeting unless I show up at the office. I'm not going to the office. I've already told you that. I'm not going to a program that isn't actually helping me. And this is a public issue because you're forcing the public to go to a program that's not actually helping.
Okay.
It's wasting tax money.
Just a sec. Let me clarify what you're saying to me. So the reason you're not going is not because you're afraid of the coronavirus, right?
I've given you multiple reasons why I'm not going. Stop trying to belittle my case.
No, I need to clarify.
No, you're belittling me.
Put it in writing. No, I'm not. I'm clarifying what you're saying. So, you don't plan on participating anytime, let alone now.
Not unless there's a change in programs that actually help people.
Okay. All right. That's all I need to know. Okay. I'll get back to you on, I've presented to you what you've signed, what our expectations are, what the consequences are, and you're saying you're not going to participate. I'll get back to you after I've discussed your file with the supervisor, okay?
Yeah, fine, whatever.
Right.
Yep.
Thank you. Bye.
Disrespectful. Well, that call didn't go that great. Laura was very rude. After asking me my problem, she didn't even listen after she asked. It's now Sunday evening, the 15th of March, 2020. I called Friday, March 13th, around 2 p.m. At the end of the call, I was told she'd call back, and she hasn't. I'll record that call too, though, when she calls back, maybe tomorrow, sometime throughout the week, maybe. I don't know how long it's going to take for her to figure out how to do her job. Laura's comments made it hard for me to be calm. I was trying very hard, though, to be calm. She was belittling me. The moment she realized she was being recorded, though, she started trying to downplay her comments about my problem being the MLA's problem and not her problem. She tried to shirk it off and any responsibility she had, and retracting by the end with she'd see what she could do and call me back. Even though in the beginning she said her only job is placing holds on people's income, making Laura herself basically useless, as her only job is to enforce unethical social policies, which is also a waste of taxpayers' money, as Laura doesn't hold any power to help me or fix problems for anyone but the government. She rudely suggests I changed careers just to seem yet less useless, as well as work BC, because they are. If you were listening to my video and what I had said, because Laura didn't. And she suggests I change careers like I don't have mouths to feed. You know, white kids are told all the time they can be whatever they want to, but obviously natives have to aim low, according to Laura. I already know choosing lesser and being forced to choose it to feed my family leads to this kind of poverty. You know, I would have been a doctor, but I had to be a dad first. Very racist and prejudiced of Laura to suggest my employment plan was not good enough. And that comment was aimed to belittle and humiliate. Well, which proves she didn't really want a solution until she knew not getting one would mean her job. Because the policy is unethical, and it even hinders homeless from access to social assistance, which for many is a reality. You know, where are homeless to go to do work search? If they get a job and they have to shower for work, what are they supposed to do? You know, we need more than being forced to work BC. That is unethical. You know, they need more than good resumes. Everybody does. Needs more help than work BC is even giving. It should not be mandatory for anyone. And the only point she agreed with, though, was the COVID-19. And again, how will homeless handle this epidemic? There are so many rights being ignored for more people than just me. You know, I didn't even get to mention how the graduated licensing program is also a class-dividing tool masked as public safety, because ICBC monopolized insurance and want to ensure only the wealthiest can afford to drive. But there's math involved, so maybe I'll make another video about that. That one's quite lengthy. But I will follow up when Laura calls back, and just to be full in detail, Laura's line is 1-778-572-3110.